Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a topic that is being newly added to IGCSE paper code 0580, and because this topic is like newly added, we will be not having any questions from our past papers. So there are few questions I have taken, and I'll be explaining you the concept of this one, how to solve it, and make sure that uh, you be with me in this video, and do like, share and subscribe my channel. So let's start with this topic, surd. And the definition of surd is very clear. Surd is a root that you can't write out exactly as a fraction or decimals. As you know that root 2 is can be written as 1.4142 and so on, but we are not supposed to write the surd in decimal value. Rather, we will be writing it as an the root value itself. So the surds, which the perfect surds will be like root of 2, root of 3, root of 5, root of 6, root of 7, and goes on like that. The root the which gives you the perfect value, for example root of 4 gives you 2, and root of 16 gives you, root of 9 gives you 3, and root of 16 gives you 4, and these roots are perfect square roots, right? So they will be not under the surds are the values under the root which will be giving us a decimal answer, but to avoid the decimal answers we are writing in the value of the root, or that is called as a surd. So there are some rules that we'll be discussing in this. So the first rule is multiplication and division of the surds. So how are we going to multiply and divide the surds that I'll be discussing here. So for example, if I have root of 2 times of root of 3, there are two different surds, right? Root of 2 is different surd and root of 3 is different surd. When I multiply these two different surds, we can write them together, that is root of 3 times of root of 2 times of root of 3. So we can write it as root of 6. We just multiplied the two different surds and together we kept it in under root, in one root, and we wrote the multiple of that. Similar thing, I'm just taking from this one, that is the multiples of the surd. And if I want to divide the surd, for example, if I divide root of 8 divide by root of 2, so you can write it as root of 8 divided by root of 2, and that gives you root of 4, and root of 4 will be equals to 2. It means that if different surds are written in two different ways in multiples or division, they can be written in under one root value. So that's what the rule says. So let's discuss some questions based on these rules, as well as we will learn how to simplify the surds. For the first example, I'll be just giving you some of the important thing that the basics of this, how to do, and you can just note down this copy or copy this questions, and you can do it by yourself. So I'll just discuss this A part with you right now. So root of 12 is given, and I have to simplify this surd. Now root of 12, to simplify this, we know that we have many options. Like we can say that root of 6 times of root of 2, and we have root of 4 times of root of 3, right? So root of 1 times of root of 12 is also there, but we will be considering the value that is one with the root value, exact root value, and the other with the surd value. So this will be eliminated, right? We cannot take root of 6 times of root of 2. The reason of that is neither of the root of 6 is a perfect root, nor the root of 2 is a perfect root. So we will not consider this one. Rather, we will go for root of 4 times of root of 3. The reason of that is at least one out of the two value is a perfect root value. So I'll be going with root of 4 times of root of 3. I'll be writing under root of 12 as root of 4 times of root of 3, which means root of 4 becomes 2 and root of 3 will be as it is. So my answer for root of 12 is 2 root 3. Remember that whenever you are simplifying the surds, one of the values should be a perfect square value. Okay, and let's do question number 2, that is part B. So you might think that root of 20 can be written as multiple of root of 10 times root of 2, but if you do it like that, then it means that you are wrong. The reason of that is neither root of 10 is a perfect square root, nor root of 2 is a perfect square root. So at least one should be the perfect square root. So what I can take is, instead of taking root of 10 times the root of 2, we'll be taking root of 4 times of root of 5. And root of 4 times of root of 5, where one of the value, that is root of 4, is actually the perfect square root. So we can write it as root of 4 as 2 and root of 5 as it is. So my answer for root of 20 is 2 root of 5. Similarly, for part C, root of 24, we can write it as, see, root of 24, we can factorize it as many different ways, like root of 3 times root of 8, root of 6 times root of 4, right, root of 12 times root of 2. But my selection is only where we get one of the value as a perfect square root. Perfect square root, it will be landing up with us perfect answer. So I'll go for root of 4 times of root of 6. That gives me root of 4 as 2 and root of 6 as root of 6 as it is, because it's a perfect surd. So there are few more questions that you need to cover up. You can pause this video and you can solve this one, and you can even discuss the answers with me in the comment box. So for now, I'm just leaving the whole simplify question for you. You can do it by yourself. Let's move on with the next example, where the rules of that we have discussed in the first, like root of a times of root of b is actually written as root of a times of b. That's what we are going to discuss in this. Okay, let's do this question number 2, that a part, root of 2 times of root of 24. Now root of 2 times of root of 24 can be written in one of the root 2 times of 24, right? So we can write this as root of 48. When you multiply 2 times of 24, you'll get 48. Now you think about a number in which you can split it, you can simplify it with one of the surd value and one of the perfect square value. Okay, perfect root value. So which number can give me 48 with one of the value as a perfect square value and another value as perfect surd value? So root of 48 can be written as, think, we will go for finding the perfect root times of the value, right? So perfect root can be, we know the perfect root lies over like root of we have root of 4 as a perfect root, we have root of 9 as a perfect root, perfect square root, we have root of 16 as a perfect square root, we have root of 36, right, 25, like 25, root of 25, then root of 36. All of these are perfect square root. So we have to select out of these. I'll go for 16 times of 3, okay, because 16 times of 3 is 48. So that will be the best option for me. So I'll write under root of 16 times of root of 3, right? You can select any one of the value that is one value should be a perfect square value and the other value should be a perfect surd value. Okay, where the perfect square value is root of 16 and it becomes 4, and I got the answer as 4 root of 3. Okay, you can easily select from these numbers. Okay, you have more number like 749, then we have 8 is 64, then we have root of 9 is 81, right? These are the roots. You can select from these and make multiples of these values. Fine. So I'll put it little aside so that it can be useful for you. Fine, let's do some more questions. B part, root of 3 times of root of 12. Now root of 3 times of root of 12 can be written together in multiples under the same root. So we can write it as root of 36, right? And you know that root of 36 is actually a perfect square root. So we don't have to simplify further. So root of 36 will become directly as a 6. Further, if you go on with part C, that gives you root of 3 times of root of 24. We can put it under the same root. So we get root of 72, and root of 72, I will select one of the square root value and one of the perfect surd value. So the best is always the bigger square root value. Okay, so I know that 9 times 8 is also 72, right? Where I can split it as root of 9 times of root of 8. But what happened? This root of 9 is a perfect square root, but this root of 8 is not perfect surd. right? Root of 9 I can write it as 3, but when I write root of 8, then I have to simplify it further as root of 4 times of root of 2, where it is like we have to simplify it, so making it as 3 times of 2, 4 becomes 2, root of 4 becomes 2, and 2 root 2. So ultimately we get 6 root 2 as our answer. But rather doing this option, we can directly select one of the perfect square root and other as a perfect surd. So making as a perfect square root, that I can feel it as taking, that is root of 36, and the other value we can make it as 36 times of 2. See, root of 36 is 6 and 6 root 2 will be your answer. You can go with the different ways also, but you will be having some steps to follow with that. So if you understand, please make sure that you also hit a like button. Let's continue with our work. This is the second example where we have to multiply the surds. Okay, rest of the questions, that is part D, E, F, G, H, I and J, you can discuss with me in the comment section, or else you can just practice by yourself. Let's move on. So this rule also we have discussed, dividing the surds and putting under the one bracket. So if I want to, I'll just discuss the first question with you. Let's divide root of 90 and root of 10 under the same root value, because it's being differently given, right? So root of 90 is differently written, root of 10 is differently written. I'm just putting under the same root, and when I divide it, the 0 0 got cancelled out, we get root of 9, and root of 9 becomes 3. Sorry, just 3, right? Because perfect root, right? So we get root of 9 as 3. So similarly we can do root of 72 divided by root of 2, right? Both are different roots, we can put under the same root, and that becomes root of 36, and that root of 36 becomes 6 as an answer. Similarly, you can go for doing root of 200 divided by 8. Okay, make sure that you don't use calculator for the surds. I believe the calculators will be they will be not allowing you to use calculator for particularly the surds chapter. So make sure that you do all of these stuffs without the calculator. Okay, fine. So it's not that difficult also dividing the surds value. It's just like simple multiplication and division as will be there. So when I divide 200 divided by 8, I'm going to get 25. Yeah, because 25 times 4 is 100, 25 times 8 will be 200, right? So I'm going to get 25. So root of 25 is 5. I hope you understand what's going on here. We are just putting under the same root of two different surd values. Fine. So you can complete the rest of the questions based on this, and if you have any doubt, you can discuss with me in the comment. Fine. So this is the rule which is similar to the division rule. For example, we have root of 1 by root of 4, right? It's actually written in the one root, and we have to separately write it, root of 1 and root of 4. Previously we have done separate roots can be written in same root, but here in the same root value, whatever it's given, we are going to write it in the different roots. Fine. So in this question, you can say that root of 1 by 4 can be written as root of 1, and root of 4, which can be actually written as root of 1 as 1 and root of 4 as 2. 1 by 2. That's what the answer is. Some simplification is already given in an example there. So let us do one of the question here, one or two questions from this to make us understand better. So first question, we have to simplify it like this. Root of 1 separately we are going to write, and root of 9 separately we are going to write. So root of 1 as 1 and root of 9 as 3. So 1 by 3 will be answer, part B. So we can write it as root of 4 divided by root of 25. So we can write root of 4 as 2 and root of 25 as 5. Okay, so the part C, we can write root of 81 divided by root of 36, where root of 81 can be written as 9 and root of 36 can be written as 6. But here a little bit simplification we can do, that is 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so these part are for the extended students, so make sure that you do it correctly and learn perfect square root values up to 20. That will really help you out. Okay, the rest of the question, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, G, H, I and J, these questions you can do it by yourself. And if you want to do it right now in this video itself, you just pause the video and try to attempt other questions also. Fine. So, and if you have any doubt in any of these questions, you can just comment me. I will just try to give you the answers regarding that. Fine. This is all of these questions that we have done up to example number 4 are multiplication of the surds, division of the surds, and and simplification of the surds. These were the one which were discussed up to example number 4. In example number 5, we will be discussing about addition and subtraction of the surds. How do we add or subtract the surd? Okay, let me discuss with an example itself here. Exercise number 3, first question. That is 2 root of 3 plus of 3 root of 3. When we add the surd, make sure that both the surd has the same surd value. Means for example, like 2 root 3 is there, another value also 3 root 3 is there. We have root 3 in common. Can you see that here we have root 3 as common value here? I will just mark it over this way. You can see that this is root 3, and here also we have root 3. They both have root 3 as common together. It means that we can easily add the number with the numbers. So it means that our answer will be 5 root of 3. We are just going to add 2 and 3, that gives you 5, and the root 3 that was common for both the surds, we can write it as it is. So for the B part, 7 root 7 minus of 3 root of 7. So you know that the root of 7 is common for both the surds, root of 7 root 7 and 3 root of 7, 7 root 7 and 3 root of 7. Root 7 is common for both the surds, so we can do one thing, we can just subtract the surd value, the numbers with the numbers. So 7 minus of 3 is 4, so 4 root of 7 will be your answer. So if we do on with the next question, 7 root of 5 minus of 3 root of 5, you can see that root of 5 and root of 5 is common here, right, for both the surds. So we can directly subtract the number with the number. So 7 minus of, isn't that the same question that we did? Yeah, okay, 7 minus of 3 is 4, and 4 of root of 5 will be our answer. So rest of the question you just try it by yourself and make sure that you just comment it if you don't know any questions related to this one. So you may even get some simplification that we have done in the previous questions, like 108 can be simplified as 36 times of, we'll do that question and I'll just explain you how does it works also. So under root of 108 plus of 2 root of 300, right? This question how it works, let's discuss. You know that 108 can be written as root of 36 times of root of 36 times of root of 3, right? I just took root of 36 because I want one of the value as a perfect square value and one of the value as a perfect surd value. So that's what I achieved in getting it. So this is 2, and root of 300 can be written as root of 100 times of root of 3. 100, why? Because 100 is actually a perfect square root. So this 36 becomes 6 root 3 plus 2 times this becomes 10 root of 3. Okay, 10, how does it becomes? Because 10 times 10 is 100, so 100 is actually a perfect square root. So we got the answer as 6 root 3 plus 20 root 3, right? So you know that they both have root 3 and root 3 as common surd, so we can just add the number with the number and we get 26 root of 3 as our answer. Hope so you understand how to simplify and also add and subtract the surd. So you can just continue doing with the other question that is left over. You can, and if you want, you can discuss the answers with me in the comment section. Fine. Let us move on to multiplying the bracket using the surds. So you just need to remember one rule in the surds. Whenever we are multiplying with the same root, like root of 2 times of root of 2, same surds, so you will get the answer as it is, like root of 2 times of root of 2 is 2, and root of 3 times of root of 3 gives you 3, root of 5 times of root of 5 gives you 5. Okay, you just remember this rule, so you will be able to easily do this one. Fine, let me give you some questions so that it will be easy for you to understand better. So I'm just taking the first question for you. Okay, whenever we are multiplying, make sure that you multiply in this order so that it will be easy for you. Take the first number, that is 1, and multiply with all of the numbers that is being remained in the other bracket. Okay, so I'm taking 1 and I'm going to multiply with the or whatever values that are left in the other bracket, I'm going to multiply with that. Fine. Then I'll be taking the next number and I'm going to multiply with the whatever the value left in the other bracket. Okay, there are two values that are one root 2 and 2, so we're going to multiply with that. So let's continue with 1 multiplying with 2 and root of 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, right? 1 times 2 is 2 and 1 times root 2 is minus of root 2. And when I multiply this one, the second number, with 2, root 2 with 2 and root 2 with root 2, let's see what happened. Root 2 times 2 is 2 root 2. There is a plus sign, so it will be 2 root 2. And there is a negative sign, so root 2 times root 2, as I discussed, with when you multiply with the same surds, it will be the answer itself. So root 2 times root 2 is 2. Okay. So here we know that these two can be cancelled out because, no, sorry, it will not be cancelled out because you have to, yeah, these two can be cancelled out. Plus of 2 and minus of 2 can be cancelled out. So here we have minus of root 2 and plus of 2 root 2. That gives you, you know that if it is minus of root 2, it means that minus 1 root 2, right? Minus 1 root 2, and this is minus 1, this is plus of 2. 2 minus 1 is what? 2 minus 1 is 1. So answer is root of 2. Okay. So we are just simplifying these two. So it will be the root of 2 will be your answer. Okay. Let's do the B part also. So we have 2 plus of root of 3 and then 1 plus of root of 2. So if you multiply 2 times 1 like this, you have to multiply again with 2 with root of 2. So if you multiply with 2 times 1, I'm getting the answer as 2, and if you multiply 2 times root 2, you'll be getting 2 root 2, and when you multiply root 3 times 1, it will be root 3, and then when you multiply root 3 times of root 2, it will be root of 6. Okay, so yeah, here we are multiplying. If you know that in the first exercise itself we have done, if it is root of a times of root of b, we are going to write as root of a times b. That's the same thing we are using here. Root of 2 times of root of 3 is actually root of 6. That's what we used in this one. Root of 3 times of root of 2 is root of 6. So we don't have any common value that we can add it here, so we'll leave our answers as it is. So leaving our answers as 2 plus 2 root 2 plus root 3 plus of root of 6. Actually we don't have any surd value that is being common, so we can't add it anyway, so we'll leave our answer as it is. One more question, we'll do it from this. So that is part C. 3 minus of root of 7 in one bracket and 3 minus of root of 7. So multiplying this 3 with this one and with this one will give you 3 times 3 is 9. Sorry, I have to change the pen. 3 times 3 is 9 and 3 times root 7 is a minus of 3 root of 7. Then plus here also minus of 3 root of 7. Okay. Then we have plus of 7, because minus of root 7 and minus of root 7 gives you plus of root 7. Okay, so we got it like this. 3 times 3 is 9, we got it here, and 3 times root 7 is 3 root 7, because there was a negative sign, so minus 3 root 7 comes, and then root of 7 times of 3 is, there was a negative, so we put it before, and 3 root 7 comes from there, and the root of 7 times of 7 is, root of 7 times root 7 is plus of 7, because root 7 times root 7 is 7, and we got minus and minus as plus. Hope you understand. So adding these same root values where we have these two root as common, root of 7 and root of 7 is common, so we can easily add these numbers. Also we can add 9 plus 7, that gives you 16, and we have root of 3 minus root 3, and minus root 3 is minus of 6. Sorry, minus 3 root 7 and minus 3 root 7 is actually minus of 6 root of 7, because minus 3 and minus 3 gives you minus of 6. So this is how we have to simplify it. So there are a few more questions that is being displayed on the screen. You guys can take these questions and do it as much as possible. So, and if you feel like any doubt is there, you can discuss with me, and I will try to answer you as soon as possible. Okay, so this is what is multiplication addition as well as simplification of surds when it comes to two brackets. So let's move on with the next type of question that is really important, that is rationalizing the denominator. So guys, you might be thinking like I'm going very fast, but make sure that you also try to pause the video and do all of these types of questions that I have given you. There are a lot of examples that is being given under this, so you must try these questions, and I will try to give you the answers as you have done and shared the comment to me. Fine. So what do you mean by rationalizing the denominator? This is another topic that we need to be like, that is there in your syllabus. Rationalizing the denominator means getting rid of surds from the bottom of the fraction. So if you see this, it's if you see in this question itself, you can just go through this example number 7. You can just pause the video and go through that example number 7. By the way, here it is 6 divided by root of 6, right? This is the question where root of 6, that is a perfect surd that is being there in our denominator. So we need to rationalize it. We need to remove the surd value from the denominator. Rationalization means removing or getting rid of the surd value from the bottom or the denominator, right? So let me explain you what does it mean and how does it works. So we have 6 of root of 6, 6 divided by root of 6. So how I'm going to remove the denominator having surds value? You know that if I write root of 2 times of root of 2, I'm going to get a 2. So it means that the only way of getting removed is multiplying with the same surd value. So if I multiply this with the same surd value, I'm definitely going to get a number value which is not a surd value. But I cannot only do with the denominator, I have to do with the numerator also, because we have to balance the equations here. So fine, so we also multiplied in the numerator by root of 6, and we got our answer as 6 root of 6 divided by 6, where we successfully removed our denominator which was having a surd, and now we have a number. So we can cancel 6 and 6. Our answer is root of 6. Okay, let's discuss the second question also. We have 8 of root of 8, 8 divided by root of 8. What we can do is multiplying the denominator, that is root of 8, in the numerator as well as denominator. The reason of doing is to get rid of the surd value from the denominator, that was root 8. Now it becomes 8, because root 8 times of root 8 is 8. And over the numerator we will be getting our answer as 8 root of 8, and we can cancel 8 and 8, and we get root of 8 as our answer. Simplifying it further from use of example number 1 and 2, you can write it as root of 4 times of root of 2. We get the final answer as 2 root of 2. Hope you understand what's going on. Let's do one more question from these, that is 5 by root 5. 5 by root 5, you know that the only way of simplifying it is just multiplying the same surd in numerator as well as denominator. Actually we are multiplying in the denominator, but we have to multiply in the numerator so that the equation remain balanced. So we can write it as 5 root of 5 divided by 5, and 5 got cancelled. We got the root of 5 as a final answer. Remember that whenever we are not getting any perfect surd, we need to simplify it further. For example, this one, right? Root of 8, which was our answer, but we know that it can be simplified further by root of 4 times of root of 2. So that's why we did as 2 root of 2. Hope so. You have some more questions for you. You can just take it down, and this is the question number 1. So you can remaining questions you can do it by yourself. Make sure that you try it, and if you have any doubt, you can discuss the answers with me. Fine. So over here we have question number 2 that we can discuss right now, that is root of okay, possibly I can make this one a little smaller so that I can get some space. Resize it. Okay, I'll just resize it and put it over here. This one I don't need it, I think. Delete it. Fine. Question number 2 also we'll discuss right now. If you feel like my video is little longer or getting fast, you just pause the video and watch it nicely again and again until you understand it. Fine. Question number 2, part A, I'll be discussing, that is 1 by 5 root of 5. We can write it as, you know that we have to rationalize the denominator with the surd. We are not going to rationalize the number, right? Number is already number. We don't have to rationalize that one. So what I will do is, instead of writing 5 root 5 here and here, I will be just writing root of 5 that need to be rationalized. Keep it in mind, I'm just going to rationalize root value that is here and here, not the 5. I'm going to keep it. So my answer will be, for this one, my answer will be root of 5 divided by, how to multiply this now? It's like root 5 times of root 5 is 5, and there is already a 5, so we got an answer as root 5 divided by 25. Hope you understand. Because it was 5 root 5 times of root of 5, where root 5 times root 5 is 5, and we have one more multiple of 5, so we get 25. So my answer is root 5 by 25. Okay, so let's do the second question also. Part B, 1 by 3 root 3. So what I can do is, this root 3 I can multiply numerator and denominator. Okay, I'll just put a line over here, numerator and denominator, so I get my answer as 1 by 3 root 3. Wait, let us simplify this. 1 times root 3 is root 3, and when you multiply this 3 root 3 with root 3, I'm going to get 3, right? Root 3 times root 3 is what? 3, and 3 times this 3, right? 3 times this 3 is 9, so I'm going to get 9 as my answer. So this is your final answer. Let's do one more question. 1 by 3 root 7. 1 divided by 3 root of 7. We can write it as 1 by 3 root of 7 times root 7 by root 7, where you can write it as root 7 divided by, now you know that root of 7 times of root of 7 is 7, and 7 times 3 is 21. So this will be my answer. So make sure that you do other questions by yourself. And some of the questions okay, this is the last question I'm going to discuss with you here. Fine. Rest of the questions, I'm just giving you some time. You can take a screenshot of this one and do these questions by yourself. Okay, so take a screenshot or just pause this video, because it's going to take a long, so I'm just rushing up to finish up this third topic in one video itself. So take a screenshot or pause this video and do the question. Okay, fine, let's move on with the last topic of the surd, rationalizing the denominator when we have two different surds in addition, subtraction, or in multiplication. Let's do this. So this is the most important part, rationalizing the denominator, and we need to do this as good as possible. Okay, fine, let's discuss this question number 3, part A. I'm going to discuss with you, that has 1 by 2 plus of root of 2. I know that I can write this as, now you might think that you can only write root of 2 and root of 2 here, and don't make this mistake, because there is a plus sign here. If it is in multiple, 1 by 2 root 2, then we could have easily written root 2 and root 2 there. But because there is a plus sign there, so we will not write like that. Instead of that, what I am going to do is, I'm going to write it as 1 by 2 plus of root 2. I'm going to write whole of the number there with the reverse sign, with the opposite sign. Keep it in mind, you always have to write opposite sign of that. Okay, I just multiplied in the numerator and the denominator with the same number but with the different signs. So we got the numerator as 2 minus of root 2. You can see that 2 plus of root 2 is here, so I wrote it 2 minus of root 2 and 2 minus of root 2 here, right? Just there is a difference in the sign, others are as it is. So we got our answer as 1 times of 2 plus 2 minus of root 2 is 2 minus of root 2, divided by, you just multiply these two value as same as in the exercise 5 that we have discussed right now in this one. Okay, example number 4. The same thing you need to follow up to multiply these things. Okay, coming to here, so I'm going to multiply this. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 and 2 times root of 2. Okay, so when we multiply 2 times 2, I'm getting 4, and when you multiply 2 times root 2, I'm getting minus of 2 root of 2. And when I multiply the same, the root 2 times of 2, I'm getting that, and when I multiply root 2 times root 2, that will give you 2. Let's do that also. So it gives you plus of 2 root 2, and over here we have minus of 2 root 2 times root 2 is 2. So make sure that your denominator value always cancelled out. The surd value, especially the surds value, get cancelled out, so that we can also say that it is being rationalized, or the getting rid of what we call it as a surd value. So you know that minus of root 2 and plus of root 2 goes out, so we are only left with 2 minus of root 2 divided by 4 minus 2 is 2. Got it? So part B also we can do it in the same way, that is 5 divided by 1 minus of root 7. So when you multiply 1 minus of root 7 as 1 plus of root 7 in numerator and 1 plus of root 7 in denominator, we need to multiply or expand the bracket, we call it as, so it will be 5 plus of 5 root of 7, 5 plus of 5 root of 7, okay, 5 root of 7. How do I get it? 5 times of 1 is 5, and 5 times root 7 is 5 root 7, divided by, here we got the same method, 1 times 1 and 1 times 1 and 1 times root of 7 we are going to do. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times root 7 is plus of root 7, and minus of root 7 times of 1 and minus of root 7 times of root of 7 we are going to do. So we got our answer as minus of root 7, and we got here as minus of 7, because root 7 times root 7 is 7. So my answer will be 5 plus 5 root 7 divided by, here we got these two cancelled out. I told you the denominator, the surd, will be removed out, then only we are actually calling it as rationalizing the denominator. So we got minus of 6 over there. Hope you understand. Let's do one more question to make it a little bit more clear. So let me resize this one a little bit smaller to get more space for part C. Okay, so for the part C, 1 minus of root, no, not this one, right? Yeah, for part C, this is the one, 3 by 4 plus of root of 2. Okay, so we are going to rationalize this one. 4 plus of root of 2 times 4 minus of root of 2 divided by 4 minus of root 2. So we can write this as 3 times 4 is 12 minus of 3 root of 2 divided by 4 times 4 is 16 minus of 4 root 2 plus of 4 root 2 and minus of 2. Hope so. You just pause the video and try to understand what did I do here, and make sure that you do it correctly. Okay, and we have 12 minus of 3 root 2 divided by, these two got cancelled out, and we got these two cancelled out. We got 16 minus of 2 as 14 as our final answer. So the remaining question, you can take the screenshot as well as pause the video and do it, and try to finish all the questions. Here we have one sign that is positive. Okay, so you can do these questions, and if you feel any doubt or anything is there regarding, just write the question number and write the part that you need to discuss, and I'll try to reach you out in the comment. Fine, let's do question number 4. The method will be the same, but the numerator is not only a single number, instead we have one of the value extra given for that. Okay, let's do question number 4. I'm going to make it a little smaller. Let's resize these questions. Resize, let's resize it. Okay, I'm going to do question number 4 and discuss question number 4 with you. So it's 1 plus of root of 2 divided by 1 minus of root of 2. So I'm just going to do one question from this, because it's going to be the same as question number 3. So when you do this question, you know that we have to multiply this with 1 plus of root 2 and 1 plus of root 2. Try to understand that the plus sign comes because here it is negative, so it will be the opposite sign of that. Other numbers will be the same number. Fine. So if we simplify this, it is going to be the same as the top number will be expanded the brackets, and the bottom number also we have to expand the bracket together. So 1 times of 1 is 1, and 1 times root 2 is root 2 plus of root of 2 plus of 2. Okay, how do I get it? 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times root 2 is root 2, and then root 2 times 1 is root 2, and then root 2 times root 2 is 2. Divided by 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times root 2 is root 2, minus of root 2 minus of 2. Make sure that the denominator surds get cancelled out every time whenever you are solving. If you are not getting, there might be some mistake, you need to correct it back. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus of 2 root 2 divided by minus of 1. Here you should note that this is actually 1 root 2 and this is actually 1 root. So 1 root 2 plus 1 root 2 is actually 2 root 2. That you can check in exercise number 3. I think that we have added the surds and how did we get the answer related to that. And we can write this as a final answer, but don't write the denominator as a negative. Rather put that negative sign as a positive and do in this way. So change the negative sign that is in the denominator to positive. Okay. What I'm doing, this is a question, this is the answer, you got it right. I'm just going to wait, I'll just change the color so that you get better. Okay, wait, so this minus becomes plus and this plus becomes minus, this plus becomes negative. So my final answer will be okay, let me keep it here. So my final answer will be minus of 3, let me change the color of my pen. My final answer will be minus of 3 minus of 2 root of 2. Okay, what did I do? Just removing the denominator negative sign, and what happened because of that, the numerator signs changed. All the numerator signs changed actually. Plus becomes minus and minus becomes plus, like that goes on. Okay, let's do yeah, that is what I can make you do for question number 4. You can do rest of the question by yourself. Fine, we'll do one of the question, that is question number 5, and the most important question of this search, and I think there will be some questions like this in your final exam also. Let's discuss this question number 5. I'm going to discuss question number 5 with you. So I'm going to put it back here this side. Okay, let's discuss this one. Show that 1 by 1 minus of root of 1 minus of 1 by root 2 can be written as this one, right? We have to show that it is written as like this. So for this, I'm going to first simplify or rationalize this one, the denominator. Wait, I'll tell you like this. We have to simplify this one, the bottom one. I'll put 1 below this, and you can solve this one by cross multiply. So 1 is over there, you can do like this. I can multiply this, I can multiply this, and I can multiply this. So we got our answer as root of 2 minus of 1 divided by root of 2. Okay, and after that, you know that this root 2 can be written at the top. So root 2 divided by root 2 minus of 1. Okay, so remember this, it's the same as, if you get confused how does I'm doing like this, if you have 1 by 2 plus of 1 by 3, what do you get it actually? You do like this though. So 3 plus of 2 divided by 6, right? So it's 5 by 6 is the answer. The same method we are going to follow to do this also. So we have root 2 times of 1 is root 2, and 1 times 1 is 1, and we have, I'll show it this, root 2 times of 1 is root 2, and 1 times of 1 is 1, and root 2 times of 1 is root of 2. We got it like that. Fine. And this root 2 goes in the numerator because it's in the denominator of this part, so this will be going to the numerator. Now what we get is actually the same kind of simplification of the surds. We have to rationalize this one just by multiplying root 2 plus of 1 and root 2 plus of 1. If we rationalize this, we'll get as root 2 times root 2 is 2 plus of 2 plus of root 2 divided by root 2 times root 2 is 2 and plus of 2 plus of yeah to root 2 times root 2 is 2 and plus of root 2 and here minus of root 2 and here we get minus of 1 because 1 times 1 is 1, so negative sign is there. We'll put negative sign. This 2 got cancelled out, so our answer will be 2 plus of root 2 divided by 2 minus 1 is 1. Am I getting the same thing? 2 plus of root 2. I'm getting 2 plus of root 2. Okay, fine. So you have question number 6 to do, so you can do it by yourself. This is as same as question number 5. Okay, this is the same as question number 5. Guys, you just try all of these questions by yourself. Question number 4, many questions are left. Question number 6 is very important. You do it by yourself. And I'm going to wind up this class here itself. Hope so you loved Surds chapter with me, and I believe that you're going to do well in your exams. And if you have any doubt related to Surds chapter, you can discuss. You can ask me the questions in the comment section. I'll try to answer you as soon as possible. And thank you for being with me for this long in this video, and we'll meet you soon in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.